Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our weekly webinar. We'll get started here right away. So today we're here to talk about all things Instagram. With you today is myself, Megan. I'm the product marketer for a social marketing product. And also with us today is Scott. He's the product manager for social marketing as well. And he's joined us today to give us a live demo and some insight and answer questions about future product development. So thanks for joining us today, Scott.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay. So again, before, as always, when we get going here, we will do a live Q&A at the end of the session. So if you guys have any questions during this presentation at all, just type them into the chat box and we'll answer them towards the end of the session. So without further ado, I'm sure most of you guys have heard the exciting news, maybe in the Product Insider or any of the emails we sent out, but we are now able to offer direct Instagram scheduling and publishing via our social marketing product. So this is super exciting. This has been without a doubt our most highly requested feature in User Voice for the last year or so. And so we're so excited to be able to bring this to our partners. We've been listening to you guys and we're super excited about this release. So before I jump into the product itself, I just wanted to talk about Instagram for a bit and go over why Instagram is so important to local businesses. So with over 800 million monthly users, we've seen businesses all over the world shift their focus from traditional social platforms like Facebook and Twitter to Instagram. And why is this? We think it's because sharing photos and the use of hashtags and Instagram stories have businesses seeing far higher engagement rates, on average 23% higher than when they post on other social platforms. You can see some of these stats here, like they're crazy. Call it human nature, but the use of images and stories to provide a real life glimpse into a business's day to day, it just resonates with users on a more deep personal level. Instagram is a platform is just more authentic, and there's just no question about it. I know many of you guys have probably personally visited businesses solely based on something you've seen on Instagram. I can tell you I've literally never been a donut person, but there's 3 or 4 specialty donut shops in the city now, and I've gone strictly because of their stories, or my friends post a picture and they just look so good. I don't even like them, but I go there anyway because I just have to try them. This is the exact thing that makes Instagram a social lead generation machine for local businesses. So how does a business use Instagram to generate leads? And how do they increase their reach and engagement on Instagram? So we'll dig in to this just a little more, and how the use of hashtags and geotagging, for example, are just some of the things that businesses large and small are doing to get discovered. So before I start, so hashtag love, that is the most popular hashtag on Instagram right now. I didn't make it up. I put a source there so you guys can check later. Hashtags are likely not new to anyone here, and they've been around for a while. Today, they're everywhere. They're becoming increasingly popular in online marketing campaigns. About 7 out of 10 hashtags on Instagram are actually branded hashtags. I'm sure you guys have seen lots of these before. For example, McDonald's right now, their McHappy Day, hashtag McHappy Day is really big. Of course, Nike, for example, they always have their hashtag just do it. Branded hashtags are a great way to create following and gain awareness among users. There's also tons of varying studies on what the optimal number of hashtags to use is. I'm sure you guys have seen posts. Some people use, 30. Some people just do 1 or 2. I've researched it a lot, and it seems that anywhere from 6 to 11 hashtags is the sweet spot. And of course, using hashtags will increase your post engagement as well. And also, Instagram users are now even able to follow or subscribe to certain hashtags. So again, I do that tons too myself. And I even with, the winter's been really long here. I'm sure everyone has known this is a really long winter. So lately I'll even just look up anything that I'm dreaming about, like hashtag beaches, anything hot, anything like that, backyard patios, just trying to look for some inspiration. But utilizing hashtags is a great way for businesses to be discovered on things that are trending or on topics that relate to their line of business. And using these hashtags on your images will help in optimizing or hyper-targeting your audience. So another thing, if you guys haven't noticed this before or not familiar with it, are geolocations or geotags. So what geotags are is they're a specific location right down to the latitude and longitude of a business Instagram content. So these geolocations are based on the physical location of your mobile device and are available to the public. So ultimately, this means that people are able to tag their images using your physical business location. And so when people who do this, their Instagram posts with the geolocation actually get 79% more engagement than those who don't geotag their images. So that's huge. It's 80%, basically just about 80% more engagement you'll get if people can actually geotag your images. So basically a geolocation, your users can search for you by hashtag or browse through post tags at your location and use your location and stickers on their Instagram stories. I'm sure you guys have seen that on Instagram stories when people actually, there's the purple sticker that you can put onto your story and tag it. So your geolocation can even also act as an awesome review source for your business. Again, I've numerous times, again, the food keeps popping up for me, but I've seen delicious like food pop up on my Instagram feed, and I'll click the location of the post and just browse through tons of other users' pictures and messages just there. And I'm just sitting there going through them for hours. It's essentially just exactly like a review site. And usually I get persuaded by doing that, of course. So that's kind of what leads me to our next point. Again, talking about lead generation. So call it human nature, like we said before, but images can be the most compelling and persuasive marketing a business can use. I know we can all relate to that. Images show consumers exactly what to expect. It can pull at their heartstrings, and it can serve, as you go back, Scott's clicking around here. There we go. Back to the right slide. But yeah, like I was saying, so it can pull at your heartstrings. It can tell you exactly what to expect. It serves as a reminder as just how much maybe I want those pair of shoes or that tasty margarita. Instagram itself refers to this as turning passions into purchases. So as you can see again from these stats on the screen, this is not something they make up. 75% of Instagram users take action, like visit your website or call you after looking at a brand's post. So that's a crazy high conversion rate. It's almost unheard of when comparing to any other channel. And you can see again here, 60% of users find products on Instagram and 30% say that's where they first discover them. It's huge for shopping. It's huge for conversions. So incorporating Instagram into a business's social marketing efforts will be a game changer. There's just no doubt about that. So we know why Instagram is important for businesses. However, Instagram's been around for a while. So if it's so important, why has it only been integrated into social marketing right now? It's definitely not because we didn't want to. That's not why. I brought Scott here and he's going to start telling you guys kind of more of the story, the background on Instagram and how we got it into social marketing today.
Hey, so as some of you may or may not know, historically, Instagram has forced users to post directly through their native app. So that forced some of the other social media platforms to develop kind of a reminder workflow, if you're familiar with how some of the other competitors do that. And of course, that's not the best solution in terms of a user experience. So we kind of held off and waited a little bit until Facebook and Instagram actually made their API available to the Facebook marketing partners, and we're very proud to now be part of that program and working very closely with Facebook and Instagram. And so we're going to see a lot of that partnership kind of drive more features and more feedback coming directly from us and directly from you.
Right. So question. So for example, like another like competitors of ours, if they had Instagram scheduling before, how did that work? Like what would someone have to do to be able to schedule an Instagram post prior to this?
Well, they would actually have to schedule it with that, with that company's software, and then a reminder would go out to a native application on the phone. The user would get a reminder notification saying it's time to post your Instagram post. They'd have to actually go and copy that content over to the Instagram native application on the phone and then post it out. So it was a manual workflow that wasn't. It wasn't a nice user experience.
So way worse than what people are normally expecting with like Facebook, where you just put your post, schedule it, pick the date, done. But there's like tons later. Okay. All right. Well, good to know. So let's talk a little bit more about how it works now and how we have it in social marketing.
Sure. So how it works right now is it works exactly the same as our other services work. So Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, Google My Business, and that you can schedule and publish single images directly to Instagram. The caveat being that you must have an Instagram business profile linked to a Facebook page. The reason for that is Facebook owns Instagram, and so they've said we're going to stop developing on our old platform, and we're going to really tightly couple it with Facebook. So they say if you want to post to Instagram, you need to basically convert an Instagram page or a profile to a business profile on Instagram. That process means that you need to link it to a business page. So we'll kind of touch on that a little bit further in the live demonstration.
Sweet. Okay, well, without waiting any longer, let's do a demo. We'll go to the demo screen now so everybody can see how to do it.
All right. So I'm just on in Partner Center on one of our test accounts, and so if I find an account like Omega Dental and click into it, you're gonna first thing notice that we have this kind of splash screen that shows the value of Instagram, and that it's something new that the user should take advantage of because it's a huge offering, huge value add to social marketing. So the first thing that you can do if you just read through this is you're going to want to connect the account. So head over to the accounts page. We now have a box over here on the right that's for Instagram. So we let you add one Instagram account, and the process involves going through a Facebook authentication workflow. Sorry, 1 second here. So if I select, actually you should have, sorry, 1 second. I'm just going to log out of Facebook here and show you the full workflow. Okay. Sorry about that. So if I come back here and then click add and go through the workflow again, it's gonna prompt me to log in through Facebook. That's very important. We're not necessarily just collecting, or you shouldn't be necessarily just collecting Instagram credentials. It needs to be done through the Facebook authentication workflow. So if I go in here and type in my password, I actually don't know why I did that. I'm gonna try that again. If I type in my password and click login, it's going to load up a bunch of my Facebook business pages that my Facebook user has access to. So you can see a bunch of them here. If I select one that doesn't have an Instagram location, it says under here, you have no pages. And then if you can't find your Instagram profile listed here, we actually have a link in there to direct the user to a Facebook help article. And this shows the user how to convert a personal Instagram profile to a business profile. In this video I found, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but it is very helpful in showing the user the steps needed to take place to actually convert that personal account to a business profile. And that process basically means that you need to connect it to that business page. So in this case, I've already done that with another account here. So I'm going to select that. So this must be more unique page, has an Instagram account already connected to it. And that is very important. So once I've identified the correct account that I want to add, then I just click the add button. And you can see now it is added into social marketing. So once it's added into social marketing, I can simply come into the composer. I can say I just want to make just one test post out to this Instagram page. I'm going to upload an image. Pretty happy about some warm weather here right now, so I'll just do a test post. You can see the preview on the right. Again, Instagram does require an image. It has a bunch of requirements in the back end that says it needs to be a certain size. We try and handle that as much as we can to resize the image appropriately for Instagram. So we take care of that for you. But once the image is loaded in, you should just be able to post out now. So that's saying that it's in progress. If I go over to the recent post page, it's already here. So you can actually verify that by clicking on view on Instagram, and it shows up straight on Instagram. So the posting out works. I can actually go through just for an example and show you what it looks like to schedule a post. So I select the same thing. change the post now to schedule a post. If I want to say post this tomorrow, I can definitely do that and then schedule it. So that works the exact same. If I go over to the schedule post tab, we should see that post here, and I should be able to edit it and delete it. So if I edit it, you can edit it just like any other social network like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google My Business, Google+. So that's pretty much the live demo that I wanted to cover. Again, if you have any questions related to the live demonstration, just feel free to type it into the question box. So yeah, I don't know why that's not showing the emoji there, but just to look into the future, you guys may well know what we've released is just the publishing aspect. So that's getting posts out to Instagram. But right now, if somebody were to comment on one of those Instagram posts, we aren't bringing those in to be a customer post. Because once somebody engages on that piece of content, it should turn into a customer post, and then send out notifications to your clients, letting them know, or else into Concierge if you use the socialize task. And that will allow somebody to be on top of that and start engaging with those people that have engaged on the content. So we definitely want to bring in comments as well as like tiered comments. We also want to bring in Instagram filters into the composer. Specifically, what that will do is when you're composing that post, and you saw me add an image in there, I can actually filter. I don't actually know all the Instagram filters, but they're very heavily used on the mobile app. We actually plan on adding some filter options within the composer so you can start to apply those filters to the images. We also want to bring in emojis. So especially with Instagram coming on board, emojis are heavily used on Instagram more than any other platform. So it's kind of time that we add that in. So we definitely want to. And then almost more importantly, this geotag location monitoring that Megan was talking about, that is when somebody goes and posts on Instagram and tags your or your client's business location. Right now, businesses generally don't know that that's happening because they don't own the location. Like when I type in or tag a location to a photo, no business actually owns that location. It's a public location, and it's very hard to monitor when images are tagged with your public location. So what we can do with access to our API is subscribe to locations. So when images are added, they actually will notify us, and we can start to add those in as customer posts and send out notifications saying like somebody actually posted a photo at your location. Then the business owner or the client can come in here and start engaging with those people, because it's almost like a review in a sense. They're actually at the business taking pictures and sharing it with their audience. So it's very important that businesses stay on top of that and engage with those people.
Yeah, especially like sometimes I'll look up reviews in other places, but if I'm going somewhere to eat, I'm always looking at their Instagram page and then looking at everything that's tagged at that location. It's like a main source of reviews, especially for younger people. They totally go to those instead of traditional review sources.
Yeah, and also business at mentions. So they'll be also treated like a customer post, where if the business's account is tagged, so at tag, then we will also be bringing that into social marketing as a customer post. And lastly, analytics. So we definitely want to spend a bunch more time looking into and strategizing on where our analytics piece is going. But at the bare minimum, with posting out to Instagram, we can get analytics or post performance analytics on those posts, so we can start to understand how well they're actually performing. Similar to how we do with Facebook posts right now, where there's like the reactions, comments, shares, that kind of information. We can start to pull that in for Instagram and start to roll those up and put them into the analytics tab, and in the future into the executive report.
Okay. So that's all we have. Just a little recap. Again, Instagram, we know that it's super important for businesses. If you have clients that aren't on Instagram now and you need to talk to them about it, really talk about that authenticity angle. Like with all the fake news out there, Instagram is super authentic way for businesses to get their brand out there, to be social. It's just huge. And we can see with the engagement rates that that businesses are getting, and just with how many users they have every month and how fast it's growing, that businesses need to be on Instagram, and hashtags and the geotagging and the location, all that stuff are super great ways for businesses to generate that engagement. So we'll take some questions now. I'll just pop these open. We'll look through some and we'll answer them right away. So question from Amelia. So her question was, so only one Instagram account can be linked to a social page or the social marketing program. What do you suggest for multiple locations? That would be, you'd want to just have multiple social marketing accounts. To just like best practice, the way to use it is every location should have its own social marketing account. So that would be how you do that.
Oh, another question from Amelia. Are you planning on being able to schedule multiple photos to one post? Right now, we actually can't do that in social marketing for Facebook, but that is something that we're going to be doing. Specifically for Instagram, though, their API right now, it's kind of still in this beta phase where they're only releasing it to Facebook and Instagram marketing partners. But it is strictly limited to one single photo. So that's a limitation that we have with Facebook. But as they start opening that up, we definitely see value in posting multiple photos, just like you can on the native mobile app. So we just have a couple questions around like a time frame around like how long it's going to take to add some of these features that we just went over. It's something like we're actually going to start working on continuing on the Instagram work, specifically pulling in comments and turning those posts into customer posts when somebody comments, starting next week. I don't want to give necessarily a exact time frame, but it is something that we see a lot of value in continuing this work. So I would say over the next 2-3 months, you're going to start seeing some of these features roll out where you're going to be able to do emojis, specifically pull in Instagram comments and engage with those people. Certainly, I would say within the next month or two.
Okay, we have a couple kind of logistical questions. One from Julie, where can we find the social marketing page? Assuming what you mean, Julie, is just like you can see social marketing on our website. It should be in the marketplace in the store somewhere, the marketplace page. I'm assuming you don't maybe have it, or if you do have it within an account, you could just go to their social marketing account as well. And then there was another question, where's the page to post to Instagram? So that is just through the Composer. So you click the red pencil button in the bottom right corner, and then that pops up in the Composer, and you just pick the social network that you want to post to. So if you want to post to Instagram, you make sure that's selected, and then you can post right within the Composer.
It looks like we have about 4 questions that relate to video posting. Apologize, we didn't cover that. It is also a limitation of the API that Instagram and Facebook have given us. It is strictly just a single post for right now, but I can almost guarantee that they're going to start looking at expanding that. So multiple photos as well as videos. Right now, we don't have video support in social marketing for Facebook even, but it is probably the next highest requested user voice feature. So we're looking at prioritizing that work pretty quick as well, because it's just being asked all over the place. Video is very important on social, and so we see value in that as well. Unfortunately, we can't do Instagram video until they make it available over their API.
I see a couple hashtag questions. Not sure, Cheryline, if you want to elaborate on this. Can you use hashtags as a first comment? I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you could maybe type in the box, but I do see one is, do you suggest always adding hashtags to an Instagram post? I would say yes. That's going to be your best way of getting engagement. Like I said, people are, especially if it's related to the product or service that your business is selling, people often, like any sort of product, tons of people just search basically on different hashtags, like that outfit of the day, the hashtag OOTD, like any clothing stores, when you're posting a picture of maybe like an outfit in your window, like that's one of the most popular hashtags out there. So I would always suggest doing hashtags every post if you can.
So James asked about, didn't see a schedule option. And is there currently a section where you can schedule a post for future, or is that coming? Yeah, we definitely have scheduling. So just like any of our other social networks, you can schedule posts. Another question we had was how many posts can you schedule? We don't have a limit in terms of how many you can schedule. So the scheduling is done on our side. So we keep record of when posts need to go out, and then we fire it off to Instagram. So it's not something that specifically they're limiting or anything like that. That's something that's on our end. So another question is about how does the Instagram features that we offer compare to other social marketing vendors, for example, Hootsuite. So Hootsuite also has access to this API, as they are also a Facebook marketing partner. So I believe they've released the ability to schedule directly. They also have their old workflow. I mentioned this kind of at the beginning of the webinar. They have the old reminder workflow where basically you can send a reminder to the native application, you get a reminder, and you have to manually go and copy that content over. So they kind of have both, I think, right now. But yeah, I think the most valuable piece is the ability to directly publish with no reminder system. It's just all automated. We take care of the scheduling, and you don't need to worry about it as an agency.
We'll have about another minute or two. If you guys have any more questions, just add them in and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, looks like we may have missed a question around adding hashtags to an Instagram post as the first comment. I see no reason why that should not work. So just as you're composing a post, in the description when you're typing that out, we've tested that ourselves. It does work. So I would fully expect it to work where you could just add hashtags to your post and not have to go to your phone and add hashtags in a separate comment. That should not be a thing. Another question is the one account limit a Vendasta limitation or an API limitation? So that is something that we made a conscious decision. We wanted to limit it to one post. It's something we may look at opening up more. I know we definitely allow more like Facebook and Twitter accounts, like same with Google+. When we started, we've just had a few problems with opening that up. And when we built the Google My Business workflow, we decided to limit it to one account. Same with when we did Instagram. We find that almost all locations do only need one page connected. There may be some edge cases where that's not the case, but we kind of been able to navigate around that conversation. So if you do have reasons to connect more than one location because one location actually owns multiple Instagram accounts, we'd like to understand that. But right now it is a Vendasta limitation.
Okay, guys, so I think that'll wrap it up. If anyone has any other questions, they can follow up with their partner success manager. And if there's any in here that we'll go through them after. If there's any we didn't answer, we will reach out to you as well. So that kind of ends it. So thanks again for joining us today. We look forward to everybody connecting their Instagram accounts. If you guys have any other questions, you can reach out to Scott or I, like I said, or your partner success manager, and we'd be happy to help get you started. Thanks, everyone, and have a good afternoon.